Hi all, welcome to QuantoKnack. I'm here to talk about how Salesforce is bringing big object concept on Force.com platform, specifically through big object and async SOQL query. I really want to touch on just a couple of things and spend most of the time creating big object, briefing async SOQL query and showing hands-on in the demo. Before jumping to big object concept in detail, let's discuss some use case. First is 360-degree customer view, where you would like to store the customer data over long period of time, maybe for predictive analysis or for prescribed customer alignment. Another use case is event monitoring, where you would like to do field audit trial or capture users' activities like login event in general. And then finally, there is a use case around data retention where you have long history of information. Perhaps you want to keep for future analysis, but you don't want to waive your standard operation or day-to-day activities. So you need a place where you can put your data for scale or to do something in future. So to provide this solution to these challenges require a lot of energy, a lot of expensive resources, researches and money in general. At Salesforce, they always try to do is simplify this thing to provide the platform as the service. And this is what they are doing with the big object. So now we'll be seeing what is the big object and how we can create the big object. Big object. Big object let you store and manage huge amount of data on this Salesforce platform. In order to support big object, Salesforce has created a new infrastructure which is built on proven database technology like Hadoop, HBase, Apache Phoenix, or Apache Pig. Now let's see standard and custom big object and its supported field type. Standard object, field history archive is one of the standard big object that store data as a part of field audit trial. There are some standard field type, which is archive field name, parent ID, which is the ID of your parent object, either custom or standard. New and known value is like another standard field type in the standard object. You can also perform SOQL query to retrieve the archive data on the field history archive object. So it supports SOQL query in general. Another is custom object. So custom object, you can define your own custom object with supported field type such as text, number, date, time, and lookup. Lookup is important here, where you can connect your custom big object to any other standard or Salesforce custom big object. So there is some limitation as well on the big object. We'll be seeing those limitations. So very basic limitation is you cannot apply any sharing rule on the big object. Another is you cannot create big object from standard UI. So in order to create big object, we need some kind of API, which we will be seeing soon. There is the org limit as well. We can create only 100 big object per org. And big object don't support self lookup. You cannot create self lookup here. They don't support trigger page layout, any reports, dashboard, process builder. So these are the very big limitations at present. Standard controller is not available, so you will have to use custom controller in order to display the big object record on the Visualforce page. So this is pretty basic limitations we have on the big object. Now let's see how we can create the big object. In order to create big object, we need a zip folder where you need to create an object file, you need to create a permission set file, and the package.xml. So in the object file, you need to define all the field attribute, all the field property, and the permission set, you need to define what are the field permission you'd like to give to the users, and the package.xml, that will be like a general file where you will be including all the object file and the permission file to deploy into the Salesforce. So let me show you. I have a sample object and permission set file. I will show you here. So you can see here I have an object file. So I created a folder, and within the folder I have all this file. So let's see the object file. So you can see here, this is the object file, and here the deploy status is deployed. So make sure that you always mention this deployed. They are not in, they don't support in development. And these are some field property I have declared here. So the first is I'm trying to create a custom field with order name, and the length is 16. The type is text. I'm not making unique, or I'm not making any required here. And then another important field type is the lookup. So here I have a custom product object, and I'm trying to relate this product object from this big object, and the type is lookup. I'm making required as a true. So this is the another type of field which I'm creating on the big object. And here we can see I have given the object name as a order. The plural name is order. The very other important point here to note is index. So what is index here? Index is used to define the composite primary key within the custom object. It also helps us to define which fields make up the index and their order and the sort direction. So if you can see here, I have given for this customer field, sort direction is ascending order, and then product is descending order. So this fields also help us, this indexes also help us to query the record and display the record, right? So this is about the big object. Now let me close this. And another very important thing is here, file type. So whenever you save this object file, make sure the type or extension, the file extension is object. If you saving .xml, it won't support. It will throw an error value when you are deploying this package. And let's see what's another. I have permission set folder. So let's see what I have in permission set. So I'm defining the different field permission from the order object. I'm giving permission on order name. I'm giving address. I'm giving order date. So this is all I'm giving read only. And then the permission set name is order permission set. Pretty basic thing. Let me do the save it. And again, for same thing, make sure the file extension is permission set file. So whenever you save, don't save it as a XML. Otherwise, it will throw the error during the deployment. And I have finally the package where I have included all this object and permission set within the package. So now we need to compress this file into the zip folder where I can do the deployment. So I'm going to log into my Salesforce account. All right. So now I will go to migration and then select deploy. And from here, I have to select the zip file which I have recently created. So in the big object, I have a folder, a zip file, which include my object permission set and the package. I'm going to select this, click open. There's some option here, validation option. So I'm going to do check only at present first time, and then select single package. I'm not going to run any test run. Main purpose of check only is it will just validate your package. If any error, it will throw that, or if no, it will show you success. So we'll see that. So again, this is the summary. I'll click deploy. So you see it in progress status. It's succeeded. It's succeeded very quickly because I have less component. If you have more number of component, it will take some time. So if you can see here, I have success message true, and these are the component which is available in my object file and permission set file displaying here. I don't have any test run, that's why it is 0. You can see here nothing I have. Now I will go ahead and deploy this package. Click on deploy, select the package file, click open. I'll not check this one, single package, no test run, click next. So you'll get some warning sign that you cannot roll back once you deploy it. So I'm okay, I have already validated this, click deploy. So still in progress, succeeded, great. You can see here, this component has been deployed to my Salesforce now, the object and permission set. Now we'll be seeing this thing in Salesforce where we have the big object. So let me go to setup, go to big object. you can see an order object is created in Salesforce, and this is deployed. Did not given description, that's why it's not showing here. I will open this. So you can see here my API name is order__ b, which is big object, and the label I have order, and these are the field I have created: customer, order name, some standard fields, product, address. So let's see similarly our permission set file. I'll go to permission set. So I have order permission set, that's the name I have given, the label I have given for permission set. I'll go to object setting. I'll search for the order. This is look like the standard order because they have 32 fields. I have less field. So this is my. So I have read and create access, and these are the file read and edit access which I have given. So now we have successfully created our big object. Now what we need to do is we need to insert the record. There is a 3 way we can create the record. One is from the Apex, and another is from the REST API, and SOAP API or Bulk API, and third is Async SOQL query. So first we'll see the Apex, and then we'll see the Async. So let me go to again my workbench. I'll go to utilities and have Apex execute. You can do same thing on the developer console as well. I'm not showing that. Here what I'm doing in this code, I'm getting the list of the order and then initiating the order and binding the fields and assigning here the customer. I'm just right now I'm hard coding customer record ID, and then I'm adding into the list. And here the important thing is note, I'm inserting this order list with database.insert immediate method. So this is recommended way to insert the record big object. So now I'm going to execute this. So it's look like executed. If you can see here somewhere right here, DML begin, and then one row is inserted. Type is order big object, and these are some general information. So now I have inserted the record. Now how we can see the record, right? So as I mentioned earlier, big object don't support page layout. In order to display on the UI, we need to use either Lightning component, or if you're using Classic, we need to use Visual Force Page or Apex controller. I'll go deep into that, but let me just show you from the workbench how we can see that record, right? So I'll go to SOQL query and look for my order object. Order is here. And now I see some field here. I will select some of the field. You can see here created date is okay. I have customer, I missed the product, that's okay. And the order and the order number. This is the order record ID. So if you click this, it will not show anything. It will say data not available. And this is the customer file, and this is the order number. I can show same thing on the developer console. So let me go here, developer. So I have the code here. If you just execute this, you will have customer name and the order ID, order number, and the product. And same thing, if you use an anonymous window and try to execute same code, you can insert from here also, right? So now we have created the big object record. Now we'll see how we can visualize on the UI. So in order to visualize this on the UI, we need to create Visual Force page and the controller. If you see in the controller, I'm returning the different fields from the order object and calling this method in the constructor. So whenever my page load, it will return all this field on the Visual Force page, right? And same thing here in the Visual Force page, making as a page pop table. Within table, I'm displaying this field. Another thing is here, the standard controller is customer sample, and the extension is big object. As I mentioned earlier, big object don't support a standard controller. So I'm trying to get this big object field and property from the extension, right? Let me save this, save successfully. I think I need to save this also. Save, okay, all right. I have saved the class in the Visual Force page. Now I'm just going to preview from the Visual Force page. Let me pass here. It's here, right? So let me preview this. Right. So you can see here my Visual Force page. Now I can see the big object record on the UI. From here you can go to customer or the product detail page. So this is the way we can create the big object record. Now going back to my slide, I have async SOQL query. So this is another very very important point, async SOQL query, and this will also help us to create the record as well as query the record, right? So async SOQL query is implemented in the form of REST API that enable us to run queries in the familiar syntax of SOQL query. You can run multiple query and retrieve large amount of data in the background and monitor their completion and the status. So this is what we can do with SOQL query. As I mentioned, we can insert the record using developer console. I have shown you, and here if you want to use async SOQL query, you need to go to developer console. Let me go to developer console again. Let me have opened somewhere here. You need to go to queries, and there is an option SOQL query, async SOQL query, and here you need to select the source object. So maybe my order object is the source object. Oops. And then I have different fields. You can select what are the fields you want to map, and then I have operation here, upsert or insert. So similar, I'm going to do insert of target object. So where you'd like to store your result, so that we have to define on the target object. It could be either standard object, custom object, or even big object. So I can select anything account, and here I can map those fields, the ID, order number, and product. So I'm not going in detail because it will take some time. It runs asynchronous, it will take some time, so I'm not doing that. There's another thing. In order to run the asynchronous, you need to first enable it. So if I go here, okay, search for async. So you can see here async queries. It won't available automatically for you. You have to raise the ticket to Salesforce and make sure that you enable for the org. So this is how we use async SOQL query within the Salesforce, and you can play a lot using developer console, and you can try to execute the same code. It will work for you. It will insert the record. So here I'm just trying to retrieve the order object and trying to insert in the another big object and mapping this field. So you can try using in your developer console, and you can play more with this. So this is it for today's session, and if you have any question or comment, please comment in the comment box, and I will be answering your questions or replying your comment. Thanks guys, thanks for watching.